Shalom. Call Halanyla Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And a sincere shalom to the 144,001 third. Now, this is some breaking news. Egypt and the small hats look like they got into a little scuffle, and this could potentially escalate into a broader conflict. A member of Egypt's security forces was killed in a shooting incident near the Rafah border crossing between Egypt and the Gaza Strip, and an investigation is underway. Egypt's military spokesperson said in a statement on Monday. Israel's military had earlier said it was investigating reports of an exchange of fire between Israeli and Egyptian soldiers. An Egyptian soldier stationed on a watchtower had reacted to seeing an armored vehicle carrying Israeli troops cross a boundary line near the border, while the soldiers pursued and killed several Palestinians, two Egyptian security sources said. The soldier opened fire and Israeli forces fired back, killing him, the sources said, sparking an exchange of gunfire between the two sides. Several Israeli soldiers were wounded and the force fell back, and one Egyptian was wounded, the sources said. Israel seized control of the Rafah border crossing from the Gaza side of the border earlier this month, as it stepped up its military offensive in the area, drawing strong criticism from Egypt. Egypt and Israel signed a peace treaty in 1979 and have cooperated closely on security issues around the borders between Israel, Egypt's Sinai Peninsula, and the Gaza Strip. They jointly upheld a blockade of Gaza after Hamas took control of the territory in 2007. So this is what's going on in that part of the world, and this is all leading to the downfall of the Edomite Empire. Now let's go to the book of Obadiah. The book of Obadiah. In verse 9, all the men of thy confederacy, this is Obadiah 1:7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So this Egyptian treaty with these Edomites, Amalek in particular, the head tribe, the first of the nations, the head tribe of the Edomites. This, what is it, 1979? Was it? Let's type. Let me see if I can just scroll and find it. Peace treaty in 1979. That's going to be null and void. From the looks of it, it's null and void now. So these small hats are cooked. The Edomites are cooked as a whole. They're saying the U.S. is the most powerful military in the world. That's cap. It's clearly Russia, them Russians over there. And you can even say China will fuck up the U.S. in a World War III, one-on-one, mono nation versus nation, kingdom versus kingdom, I should say, scenario. And these nations are going to rise up against them small hats, man, and Esau as a whole, with the spearhead being another fucking nation, another tribe of Esau, man, them Russians over there. Rashar, chief prince. Let's go to the book of Joel. I'm trying to train myself to do it like that. It's the book of Joel, 3rd chapter, in verse 12. Let the heathen be awakened and come into the valley of Hawashaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So these nations are going to gather, man. They're going to gather together in our land and go to war. And over there in Babylon the Great as well too. They're gonna invade this place. They're gonna be over there in our land. And our land is more than that just small little slither that the small hats got. All right, our land stretches where Saudi Arabia is all the way up into what is that? I forget the name of that country. That's a little bit north to the small hats. I forget what it's called. Our land stretches all over there. They just got a little small slither. Let's see if I'm spelling this right. Revelation 16 and 12, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And they're coming for them small hats, man. Them Egyptians, them, what is that? Them small hats are surrounded by nothing but Islamic countries. They're gonna jump them, and the U.S. is gonna be in Saudi Arabia, the land barren and waste, right? And they're all gonna get fucked up. The U.S. is gonna get fucked up. All these Edomite countries are gonna get fucked up. Russia's gonna get fucked up too. But let's get this, because Esau is utterly screwed. Before we get this, let's go to Luke. Let's go to the book of Luke. St. Luke 21 and verse 10. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. So that's a war. Let's get that more clarified. Matthew 24. St. Matthew 24th chapter. Actually, it's the same thing. I thought it was not a verse that said a little bit more. But nonetheless, that's going to be straight up war. Matthew 24 and 7, for nation shall rise against nation. So that's race wars and kingdom against kingdom. Now that's actual literal wars, like a country versus a country. And we're seeing that now. We're seeing that with Russia and Ukraine. We're seeing that with the small hats and the Palestinians, right? And we're potentially could see this with the Egyptians and the small hats. And we had a little taste with the Iranians, the Carmenians, right? The Elamites versus these gutter rats. Now let's go to this right here. An ICC warrant for Netanyahu will divide Europe. And guess what? It's already doing that now.